It's the pernicious purveyor of preposterous pomposity and the paragon of pugilistic punditry. Your host, the King of Connecticut, Matt Granahan, back here once again at Berman Law Group Studio here in Boca Raton with a Boca Raton native, actually. A gorgeous and extremely accomplished actress and businesswoman. She came here for celebrity boxing with Damon Feldman, which I've had the pleasure of hosting in the past. I hosted in 2018 when Christine Curran from Dining Divas battled Nat D from VH1's Mob Wives. It was a great time.
Good fight.
It was a great fight, too. A very action-packed fight. And Gia's going to tell us about this past weekend's celebrity boxing. So without further ado, I want to welcome to the TBT podcast the gorgeous actress Gia Salazar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome here. Welcome home, I should say.
Yes, it's so nice to be back. Boca's home.
Yeah, so you were born and raised here, which I didn't know.
I wasn't born here.
No, you weren't born here.
I'm from Canada.
Oh,
but
okay.
I went to Miami and I did my swearing. I have dual citizenship.
Oh, awesome. What part of Canada?
Toronto.
Oh, okay. So you weren't on the French side then?
No, English part. Yeah. But we came here when I was 16, so I went to Spanish River. Do you know heard of that school?
Yeah,
yeah.
Down here.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe the football coach from Spanish River was on one of the other podcasts that they shoot in here.
Okay.
Because we have the exclusive training center here with Berman Law Group that's also in Boca. And I've got to show you that facility. Great training for football players and baseball players primarily.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, in Boca is where I got my name, Gia, because my full name is Janina, but no one can say it. So when I came here, I played basketball, and then the coach was like, Gia, your name is Gia. And I was like, okay, I like that. And then just kind of hit just the first three letters so people can't mess that up.
I think I can say it. Giannina.
Oh yeah, you're Italian, so you could say it.
It sounds more Italian than
It is
Spanish.
Italian.
It is, okay.
It's not Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom actually named all of us Gian in the beginning. So my older brother is John Pierre, Gian, Giannina, Gianfranco, and John Paul.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we all go by the nicknames, Polo, Franco, Pierre, and Gia. Yeah.
Awesome. So is the rest of your family down here?
Oh, yeah, my whole family's here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
No one's still up in cold in Canada.
What? No. Oh, yeah, well, I have aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff, but my primary, like my mom, my dad, my brothers, everyone is here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you have, you're I thought you were Spanish. I wasn't sure if you were from South America
I'm mixed.
or Cuba. Yeah, tell everybody because it's an amazing mix.
Thank you. So my mom is Spanish, Sicilian. My father is Peruvian, Japanese.
Oh, that's an amazing combination.
So if you see my mom, she looks like white, with like hazel green eyes and everything. And then,
oh, wow.
Yeah, but if you see my father, he's very, very dark and Jap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's actually half Peruvian and half Japanese?
Yes. My grandfather's 100% from Tokyo.
Wow, that is an amazing combination.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this past weekend. Let's start there.
It was so good. They had Black China fight against Alyssa Megan. And, they were going at it. They were really going at it. I personally think Alyssa won, but it was tied.
What was the decision? They called it a draw?
Draw.
Because when I hosted there the year with Christine and Nat D, just to give some folks a background and some episodes you can check out, we air here on the Hannibal TV, which is Canada's top combat sports podcast, over 350.
Oh, Canada?
Up in Canada.
Nice.
Yep, it is.
Okay.
It's a big podcast up there. That's one of the places that airs our show. And I've been a personality with Hannibal for years. And so we were the promotional arm with Damon and with Christine for that 2018 fight.
Oh, okay.
With Nat D and Christine Curran. And both Nat D and Christine went on with Hannibal, Devin Hannibal Nicholson, who's the main host. I'm a personality on there, and our show airs on there as well. And it got pretty heated between the two of them afterwards.
Damn.
There was a a decision. I think they ruled it a draw, but they were both fighting for that belt. And then after Christine said she won, and but they butted heads.
I don't know. It was pretty.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't know
crazy.
who won that one,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, because Christine got some good punches in, but then so did Nat.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was that I could definitely probably see a draw.
Yeah, it was wild.
Because they
Were
were
you there
both.
for that one?
Of course,
Oh,
I was
so
front
yeah,
row.
awesome,
I was
awesome.
with Damon.
Yeah, it was wild, and I interviewed them both afterwards for Hannibal, and they were at each other's throats there. So people take the celebrity boxing really seriously. And for folks that don't know, celebrity boxing with Damon Feldman, he's got an amazing sports entertainment product there. He's had some great fights going back to like the late great Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah, actually, Tanya Harding too.
Tanya Harding.
Tanya
yeah.
Harding fought.
Yeah.
Who else? I think
Todd Bridges
Julio
from Different
fought.
Strokes.
Yeah.
I remember him. I remember Danny Bonaducci.
Yes, he fought.
Yeah, and Danny Bonaducci, one of my favorite fights. Danny Bonaducci fought the actor that played Greg Brady in the Brady Bunch.
Oh, okay.
And they had a slobber knocker of a fight.
So did you see the Aaron Carter versus Lamar Odom?
I didn't see that
Oh
one.
my God, that was a slaughter.
Was it? Who won that one?
Obviously Lamar.
Lamar? Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna do another celebrity boxing fight in November in LA. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, I work with celebrity. That's my family, celebrity boxing. I handle the West
great.
Coast side. I'm the rep over there.
That's awesome. So in 2018, I hosted a grappling festival in Miami, and we had some stars from UFC, like Andrea KGB Lee was there in the main event, who's a big top UFC female contender, and the Crazian Andy Wynn. She went against a big Asian champion from Ryzen MMA.
Okay.
And that was where I first met Christine, because Dining Divas was one of the sponsors of this festival that I was hosting.
Okay.
And I met Christine down there, and she asked me to come in to promote and host because she said she was going to be fighting, and she was going to be boxing against the gal from VH1, Nat D. So that was my only interaction with them, was at that event. And I had a blast. And the vodka was flowing.
We gotta get you in for the next fight when we do it in Miami.
I would love to be involved again.
Yeah, I'll definitely reach out to you.
Yeah, one thing I remember about that night was Christine's boyfriend had his own vodka brand that he was promoting, and it was so smooth. It was like drinking water, that vodka.
Yeah. I forgot how they made it that it's supposed to be actually healthy for you.
Yeah.
Somewhat healthy.
And the ring was like right on the water there on the beach at that resort.
Oh,
that
Ocean
hotel.
Manor.
Yeah.
Ocean Manor.
Oh, was that where this last one was as well?
No, the last one was in Pembroke Pines at the Dodge Center.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really nice arena. I mean, I've never even heard of it until, we did the fight.
Well, I'll tell you,
It's
one,
beautiful.
The one that I was involved with Christine on the water was packed.
Yeah, that was the Ocean Manor. They
Yeah.
did it in the ballroom. They set up the ring
And that
there.
ballroom was jam-packed. And
Yeah, it was packed.
people get really into it. If you've never seen celebrity boxing, you got to check it out. You've got to check out Gia. Now, Gia, how did you get involved with the celebrity boxing yourself?
I was actually one of their first investors.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And was that here in Boca?
Yes.
Okay, great. So speaking of investing, let people know a little bit about your real estate company.
Okay, so I opened up a company called Coast to Coast Realty Group, and it was always with the intentions of having an office here in Boca, which I do, and one in LA. That's why it was coast to coast. So
Okay.
Yeah, because since I'm in the industry, I know a lot of people that are always going to LA or me when I went. So I said, you know what, it only just makes sense that it can help people transition once they're ready or whatever. And then while I'm there, work. So I'm not, because over there it's like super expensive.
Oh, yeah. And
It's like 4 or 5 times more expensive than it is living in Boca.
wow, that's wild, because the Boca area is for the East Coast, is very high as well. And the real estate now, I mean, people are moving to Florida in droves.
Oh yeah. Well, everyone's coming to Florida now because the way the government handled the coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
So everyone is, flying to Florida because of that. But over in LA, it's super inflated. Like my house here in Boca is 800,000. In LA, that's 2 million.
Really? And
easy.
It surprises
Maybe
me.
even more, to be honest with you, because I bought a fixer-upper. I fixed
Yeah.
it up, but I paid 1.3, and then I dumped 180K into it.
Let me ask you this though, Gia, because that surprises me. You saying that, because we've heard now for the last 2 years that people are moving out of LA and Southern California in droves. So I would think that the real estate market there would be in the tank.
It's not in the tank. It's very
Really?
it's very competitive. And some people are kind of leaving there because of the taxes. It's like 16% over there. And here, I think, is like 6%.
And it doesn't seem. That
And then
seems
there
like,
is no state tax here.
That seems like
over there.
counterintuitive, though. Everyone's leaving there, and yet the prices are still inflated.
It's still high. Yeah, the gas. I think gas over there is like $8 for a gallon.
Oh yeah, and that's why it surprises me the real estate, because people aren't moving to LA so much.
Yeah, but the thing is, everything is in LA. Like, whatever you're trying to do in the industry, if you're trying to really pursue the film industry,
Sure.
it's on a major scale. It's everything. You meet so many people, like celebrities and everything. Like, it's just like they're just there. So people go there because of that reason, because you can get connected with so many people that are like here, and it's
Of course,
it's just
yeah.
the heart. of
Yeah,
everything.
and people who go out there to pursue careers in acting, if they're not already somewhat wealthy, I don't know how they afford to live.
I don't
out
know
there.
how they. Well, there's
Yeah.
there's rinky-dink little shoe boxes, I guess, or they're
Yeah.
dorming or whatever. But
Yeah, that's wild. Well, let's talk about your acting career, and I want to talk about a movie that you were in with Ava Longoria, who folks will know from Desperate Housewives, Carlita's Secrets.
oh, yeah, that was one of the first films I did. Yeah, I played an inmate.
Yeah, I saw that, and I watched that, and
Yeah.
you did a great job. Now, how was it? Did you get to know Ava?
No, I didn't get to
no?
know her like
Okay.
that. No. But right now, I just finished a film called The Family Man.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. It
Yeah.
looks awesome.
Shout out to Romaine Simon from Lucky Strikes Film.
Excellent. You played Detective Bella in that.
Yes, I did. Yes,
Awesome.
I did. We're getting ready to do the premiere over there, but he's also from Orlando, actually, the
Okay.
director. So I was telling him, I was like, listen, we got to do a premiere in, besides Orlando, do it in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, because, there's a fan base there too. And he was like, you know what, we're going to do that. So we're actually going to do like a little tour and do different cities.
Cool.
And the film is going to have selective theatrical release. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really nice.
So, without giving it all away, because I saw the trailer and I watched a couple of different interviews on the film, just tell people it's kind of a film about justice and revenge.
Yeah, it's about justice and revenge. Just, a regular citizen. The mayor
I saw that. Yeah.
was a drunk, who was drunk, and then he hit their family, in a drunk driving, and he killed them. And when it was time for justice, they, slapped his wrist, basically. They didn't give him any prison time, nothing. Just, it's an accident. Okay, go on with your day. He'll pay for the funeral expenses. And then the man went crazy. And then he went out for revenge for his family.
Yeah. So like an out for justice kind
Out
of
for
thing.
justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now talk about. There's another movie that you were telling me that you're just starting production on.
Yes, it's called Sweet Maple Lane, and it's based on a haunted house that I grew up in.
Here in Boca, right?
Here in Boca.
Wow.
Here in Boca. Yeah, so it's based on true events. It's the events that happened in that house that we're telling the story about.
So how was the house haunted because someone died in the house?
Yeah, the owner.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. So you have real experiences with
Real experience with it. And I didn't, honestly, I didn't even know the house was haunted until I heard him. And once I heard him, this is I'm going to say, just the way he said it to me, that I freaked out. This man said to me like this. He goes, "Get out." Like that.
Wow.
I almost had a heart attack. I tried screaming. I couldn't scream. He completely like froze me. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. I was like this. It was the most scariest thing in the world. He told me to get out like two more times. Then the next day, I got out of that house and I never went back. And then I called my mom and I said, Mommy, oh my God, I heard a man in the house and I couldn't move. I'm never going back to that house. And she was like, oh yeah, I know. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you know? She was like, yeah, he used to open up the cupboards on me. I said, are you kidding me? He used to open up the cupboards on you and you never said anything to us? She was like, well, I didn't want to scare you guys. Yeah, you know, he would open up the cupboards and then I would, you know, hear the door open and close and then I'd go to the kitchen and no one's there.
Oh my God.
Like it was nothing. And I'm like, I can't believe you still lived in that house, you know? And then I asked my father, I'm like, hey, did you hear anything? And he said, yeah. And he told me what he heard and what he saw. And then I called my cousin who had stayed at my mom's house for a few months. And I said, hey, Jerry, did you see anything or hear anything weird? And he goes, oh, yeah, I would see this old man walk from your mom's room to the back room, and then he'd disappear.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys never, I don't, you know, he was like, yeah, you know. But and then I found out from my mom that the room that the old man kept going to was his office. So we're making a story about that. And like I said, it's based on true events. It's an extremely, extremely good script.
Since you know the story, were you involved in writing the script?
I was involved. Yeah, the concept is mine, like
sure.
the events. But then I hired a writer. Shout out to Chris Levine. Super. You have no idea.
You conveyed the information to him, and he put it in script form.
He put it in script form, and he also, you know, added some stuff.
Wow.
You know.
That's wild.
You know, he did a great job, and I can't wait to shoot it once I go back to LA.
So it's based on your story when you were a child. Now, what role are you going to play in the movie?
I'm actually going to star in it. I'm going to play. It's in the film. It's not going to be a family of 5. It's going to be a family of 3. So,
okay.
So it'll be like, you know, the girl, her fiance, and her son.
So it's not going to emulate your family exactly. Okay,
it's not going to emulate exactly. Okay. It's going to just be the events that happened, and then we're making a story about it.
Okay, great.
Yes.
That's wild. Now, I'll tell you a story down here. And there's a hotel called the Hotel Redlands in Miami. It kind of reminds you like the Old West, that hotel.
Okay.
And when I was hosting, I used to host the grappling festivals down here that I mentioned. When I was hosting Miami Vice Grip, the Grappling for a Cause, which was the women's grappling festival in Miami, the promoter, Michael Caramico from Millionaire Fight Club, he put us all up at this hotel, the Hotel Redlands. They had great food, the bar. That festival was always around the holidays. So they had the big Christmas tree.
Oh, nice.
And we felt like we were at home. You know, it was the kind of hotel that you could walk around in your slippers. And I did, you know, and hang out at the bar and get your meals and stuff. And I was there with Andrew KGB Lee from UFC and Christy Garr, who's another big MMA fighter, and all these female fighters for this festival. And no one told us that hotel is haunted.
Oh, God.
And
don't you love that?
Even before they were filming a show there,
my God.
Even before they were filming a show, Christy Garr and Joey Cacalano, who was one of the producers for the festival, they had these weird experiences in their room. Christy Garr said that she felt like she was tripping, like her bed was rocking like back and forth. And it was funny because we were there for 4 or 5 days, and it was like on the third or fourth day after they had already experienced this, we were at the bar, at the Redlands bar that night, and Joey came over and he says, oh my God, he said, they're from the Ghost Hunters show. The TV show, the Ghost Hunters. I'm getting the name correct.
Okay.
I've got pictures and all this videos with them, and we found out that hotel, the Hotel Redlands, was infamous for being a haunted hotel. Yeah, just like you're talking about in the haunted house. So I really believe in that.
Maybe we'll talk later, because at the end of my film, we we added a scene to leave the door open for a part 2.
Oh yeah, that would be a great place to film it.
Yeah,
it's such a cool place. It's like it looks like an old Western like saloon, hotel, and bar.
it's still open.
The Redlands, yeah, I would think as long as they made it through Corona, because we stopped doing that last festival was 2018.
Okay,
so you're talking like 40 years ago. I know a lot of places closed.
Yeah,
subsequently,
some
after
places didn't make it.
I'm not sure, but we can look it up. And they're really cool. The people down there were great that ran it, but it was haunted. It's famous for being a haunted hotel.
Yeah, it's scary, that stuff. Have you ever experienced like?
I have. I'll tell you what I've experienced is my father passed away this year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But he's been visiting me, like spiritually, in my dreams, but to the point where it's so lucid that I'll get up and then I'll have this experience where did I get up in the night, and then we'll have a conversation and I'll go back to sleep. I feel like it's like, and I believe in the spirits like that.
Oh yeah. It's real.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've had that happen before. I had a good friend in high school who was killed in a car accident when we were in junior year. Thank you. And he used to come back and visit me too. The same way, just so lucid experiences that you feel like it feels like this is so real. You know? Yeah. So I believe that people's spirits are still
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for you having that experience growing up. You would have to. Oh my
God. I'll never forget it. Like, I have that voice in my head like it just happened.
Yeah.
Like that. It's so scary.
That's wild.
I just thought it was a good story to tell,
Definitely a great story. And it
when I do the premiere, I'll let you know about it.
Yeah.
We're going to do a premiere in LA, and then we're going to do one here.
I go out there periodically. I was out there in November. I was in Orange County because I did projects with Eric Paulson that runs Combat Submission Wrestling, which is a big MMA gym and complex in Fullerton, Orange County. Okay. So usually when I go out there, I fly into John Wayne Airport. And we actually we did a book together that we've done some subsequent promotions on over the years. And we did one in November. So I might be going back out there again. So maybe I could coordinate it together.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would be. I'd love to come to the premiere.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, just let me know.
When do you think that's going to be? And do you have a name for this movie yet?
Sweet Maple Lane.
Well, I love that.
Right, and that's actually the street name.
That's wild.
It was like it was meant to be or something to do it, because it's just the name sounds scary.
It does,
doesn't it?
Definitely. Even the Redlands, it sounds kind of wild.
It does.
Yeah. And when you see this place, it looks like the old West in south of Miami, Florida. I think it's like way south of Miami.
Wow.
Where we stayed there, and the experiences. I didn't have it personally, but there were. I mean, there's no way that there were 3 of them. 2 of the female that were there grappling in the festival, and then the producer of the event that all had those experiences before we met the Ghost Hunters people.
Wow.
That knew that they were shooting there. So it was like it couldn't have been coordinated that they knew the Ghost Hunters people, and then
they're
psychologically this started happening. Yeah, that's wild. Well, Gia, I wanted to talk about something that's been in the news in the last day or two.
What?
Because we've had some WWE stars here on our show. We had Lady Renee Michelle, the Mistress of Wrestling from WWE, was actually our last guest here. We've had UFC Hall of Famer and former WWE superstar Dan the Beast Severn in here. We had World Jiu-Jitsu champion Jenny Santana, whose father is WWE Hall of Famer Tito Santana. And there's a big news, kind of tabloid news scandal that's been going on with WWE and with old Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, have you seen anything about that?
I haven't had time, to be honest.
To watch it. It's been top of the news lately, and apparently, Vince has always been pretty wild, been a ladies' man, and he apparently paid $3 million in hush money to these ladies. Now, Vince is in his 70s now. I believe he's 75.
Oh, wow.
And he's still active. And I just wanted to, because we air on Hannibal TV and they cover a lot of the pro wrestling stuff, I was just going to tell my take on that is in 1999, Vince McMahon, he was so successful in transforming professional wrestling from a regional business with the territories, the regional territories, into this big national corporation. And then in 1999, he took the company public, and he was worth billions. He was a billionaire at that time. I think he still is kind of fringe billionaire because the stock's gone down. But he didn't have to stay. He was also the top heel in the company at that point. He had just had his run with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So my take on that is what he should have done is he should have left with those billions. I mean, I don't want to get into his personal business. I think from what I've heard from some people that I know there, he and his wife don't have a real serious marriage anyway.
It's open?
It's pretty open from what I understand. So he could have gone and traveled the world, indulged himself with the ladies, and he could have come back periodically. And in doing that, he would have had even more wealth because he was the top heel there. He could have come back and made lucrative appearances if you still wanted to stay within the business.
Right.
So that was just my take on that. From what I understand, he's kind of a workaholic, but 75-year-old man still going wild, dipping the pen in company ink, as they say.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful thing about this industry is that you love what you do, so it's not work.
That's true.
That's just you.
That's true. People say
that's
that.
Just you.
But he was in that office role in Connecticut, my home area. I grew up like 4 exits from their headquarters in Stamford, and he had to be stuck in the office. I guess, everybody's different strokes for different folks, right?
Right.
But if I had that kind of, the kind of money, early 50s, I'd be on the beach and relaxing,
Yeah, with the drink and someone giving you a massage.
Exactly, Gia. That's what I'm talking about.
That's how they do it in Brazil.
Yeah.
There's literally masseuses on the beach. And
Right on the beach.
Right on the beach, and the people, there's like a portable bar that people... give you drinks and make you drinks right there and then.
Oh, yeah. I was down in Rio. That's an awesome
I was in Rio,
place.
too.
Yeah.
I was there for 3 months when I was working with America's Film Conservancy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, their film opened up the Rio Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
The film was called Sangue Azul. And then then we went off to Berlin for the Berlinale Film Festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I traveled with them.
Yeah, they know how to live down in Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the food is nice and fresh and good. It was definitely a good time.
What's your favorite place that you've been to in the world?
My favorite place that I've been to, international or
anywhere in the world, international.
I guess Brazil for now. That was like the best one, but I want to go. I'm gonna go. I don't have a date yet, but I'm planning to go to Italy. That's like one of the places that I dreamed of going.
I've got to tell you, my favorite beach in the world, and I told this to our last guest, Renee, because she's talking about where she wants to go on her honeymoon.
Right.
My favorite beach in the world is Mondello Beach in Sicily because the water is like a swimming pool.
Oh, yeah.
And the villa's right there. The beach is like that white sand, soft white sands.
Clear.
And it's just, and then you have the mountains like in the back. It's at the palm trees and stuff, the mountains in the back. It is like, it's like heaven for me.
And the food, I'm sure.
Oh, the food is amazing.
See, that's why I'm saying Brazil now, but I know that once I go to Italy, I'll be saying Italy. I just haven't, I just haven't been there yet.
Yeah, and places like Sorrento and Capri are beautiful too. But Mondello to me is my favorite beach in the world. My favorite beach in the world. And I've been to Hawaii. I know Hawaii has a crystal clear water. And here in Florida, when you go out toward Destin and Naples, they have that clear water. But I'm telling you, there's no water clearer. It's like one big swimming pool.
That sounds beautiful.
Sicily, yeah, it's beautiful.
The only thing that sucks about LA is that the water is cold.
Yeah, it never gets warm.
Oh my God, it's freezing. I went in there thinking it was like Florida.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's definitely not in Florida anymore.
I was in San Diego like years ago. I went to San Diego probably like mid-late 90s. First time in San Diego, and I thought it was going to be really hot.
That's what
it was like in the spring. And we go to the beach, and it was like cold.
Ice.
Yeah.
Ice.
It was like in the spring. It was like March or April. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It's almost in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why the water never gets really warm
Yeah,
out there.
it's. I've never seen it warm ever. I don't think it does. It's the Pacific.
The Pacific never really
Never.
gets warm. No.
Yeah. Because here we're in Florida, we're like an island, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's by Bahamas and things like that, so it's tropical.
But where we are right now in Boca, we're really close to the Bahamas.
Right.
Bahamas isn't far off of Florida at all.
Right.
Yeah.
It's what, a 3-hour cruise ride or something?
Yeah. I think we're only. Don't quote me, but only 250 miles from the Bahamas here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's nice.
So you came from Canada into the tropics, and I assume, based on what you're saying, that you prefer the tropical climates.
You know what? I love the tropical climates, but I've been gone out for this year. The last time I was here was February, and I kind of got used to the LA weather.
Mm-hmm.
And then in LA, people are like, "Oh, you're from Florida. It's so hot." And I'm like, "No, it's not." Now that I'm back, I'm like, "Oh my God." I get in my car and it feels like a sauna.
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Wow, it's really hot in Florida." It's like I forgot.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's really hot in Florida.
I grew up in Connecticut. I love the heat.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm transitioning more over there. I really love it in LA. It's home now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it out there. You know, I was in Orange County for not even 6 months. I lived out there, and that was where transition to the company I was with. Got onto a severance, so it was I got to enjoy it out there. But I'm an East Coast guy, you know.
But there's so much to. In the entertainment industry, there's so much to do over there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, there's always a red carpet. There's, all my friends were always doing productions.
Sure.
So you're constantly.
Yeah, but didn't it slow down tremendously with Corona?
It didn't slow us down.
No, okay.
And that's all that's important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you hear that. And then when I went to Orange County in November, and I was staying over there with Eric Paulson, I was shocked and he said, no, because he said, you're in Fullerton. He said, Fullerton, Orange County, everything is pretty much wide open.
Yeah, I'm in Hollywood and everything was much open. Actually, my publicist sent me an invite to, I got invited to this fashion show, so I'm going there to downtown LA on Saturday. And then
awesome.
Lucky Strikes Film just casted me for another a TV series that they're doing.
Oh, that's great. Tell people a little about
Fight
that.
Club.
The Fight Club, you mentioned that.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you. Yeah, and I'll be playing one of the right-hand men to the guy that's in charge of the Fight Club. I can't really disclose much about it. He was like, can't really say much, but there's just always things to do, and we're shooting that in July. So,
That's
and then
awesome.
in my film, we'll probably shoot that in like August, September to try to wrap it up by the end of the year.
Yeah, I was mentioning to you earlier that a good friend of mine is down here. He's in Clearwater. Mm-hmm. Is Sal Franciosa. He did the Fight Valley movie I put him, coordinated the casting for him. He had Misha Tate, who was UFC world champion, women's champion, Holly Holm, who had won the belt from Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
And the top contender, Chris Cyborg. So he had all three of them starring in his movie, Fight Valley. And the movie came out, it had a theatrical release and came out right when Holly Holm had beat Ronda Rousey for the belt.
What was the name of the movie?
It was called Fight Valley. Yeah, check out Fight Valley.
I will.
It was a top movie in Redbox, too.
Okay.
Over the winter of 2018. And he just did another movie with Felice Herrig from UFC called Cold, and they're talking about casting for another Fight Valley movie, and that one's supposed to be shot in Florida. So
nice.
I'll let you know for sure. I'll introduce you. I want to get Sal in here at some point too. When he said I wanted to wait until he had the Cold movie to promote, but we'll get him in here too, and I'll introduce you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, Gia, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
It's been a pleasure being here. I had a good time.
Welcome back to your hometown. How often do you get down here?
When there's a celebrity boxing fight.
Yeah, celebrity boxing. Do you know when the next one is going to be here?
The next one, I'm not sure yet. It'll definitely happen after LA, because we're going to do the next one in LA in November.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
so I'll be back for Christmas.
Awesome. So it'll probably be around. It'll probably be around that time, the holidays, when they have the next celebrity boxing.
Yeah, I think it'll be next year because the next
For
one.
next year, okay.
Yeah, because the next one is going to be in LA.
Yeah, I'd love to go to that, and maybe we could
The
have
LA
some
one, you wanna
TBT
come?
representation there.
You want to come to the LA one or?
For Florida, for sure.
Okay.
The LA, it depends. Like I mentioned to you, I'm trying to coordinate something out there in Orange County. If I can tie it together, I want to come out more for your movie premiere.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's where I wanna be.
We'll have that at the Chinese theater.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I want to come for that.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much, Gia Salazar.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for listening.
Bye.
When you're involved in an accident, it can shatter your entire life. Suddenly, you have physical injuries, lost wages, medical bills, and you are stressed. You don't have to do this on your own. Don't leave your life in pieces. Call the Berman Law Group, and we'll help you put the pieces of your life back together. We aggressively represent clients who have been injured, but if there's no recovery, you don't owe us any fees or costs. We have recovered our clients over $250 million, and we want to get you the money you deserve.